Don't call me to say I'll not go to your country. What do we lack in Kenya? You can cancel your visa. I was a short while back in a foreign country, and you can imagine being approached by a fellow man asking me to go out and mess with him, sleep with him. And the guy has the audacity to tell me I look nicely round. Can you imagine? What a level of perversion. So I'm telling our people that this is an enterprise which is going on. There is no reverse gear, and it is going to succeed. On the day this bill is going to be tabled, it is going to be Kenya versus Sodom and Gomorrah, the other side. Yeah. Anybody who will rise to oppose will belong, and Kenyans will see them to Sodom and Gomorrah immediately. And as Kenyans will fight very hard, and I know we are more than the people of Sodom and Gomorrah sent in this parliament, I know we will succeed. So I appreciate what is happening.
Absolutely.
The bill has been drafted. We are now waiting for Parliament to move forward. But as we do that, we want to encourage our institutions to know that they exist for Kenya, not for foreign powers. Do you find it any coincidental that that determination by a majority of the bench members in the Supreme Court was handed down when the First Lady of the United States of America was arriving in Kenya? It's not a coincidence. Is it coincidental that then you see her giving us some 16 billion for hunger? This hunger of ours, which makes people think our moralities can be bought.
Exactly.
Why don't we have measures to end it?
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Friday. Today's video is very controversial, and so warning, if you belong to the rainbow people, please, I urge you not to watch this video if you get offended so easily or so sensitive. Today I'm going to share with you 3 videos from the continent of Africa where leaders stand firm and strong against the US and the Western culture. And so without further ado, let's start with this one from CNN. The woke CNN asking former Kenyan president questions about their stand with LGBT. And so thank you guys for watching in advance. I hope you enjoy this video and don't get offended.
In Kenya, to be gay, the LGBT community is illegal. They just want to have equal rights, the same privacy and equality as all other Kenyans do. Is that something that you aspire to for your country?
I want to be very clear, Christiana. I will not engage in a subject that is of no, it is not of any major importance to the people and the Republic of Kenya. This is not an issue, as you would want to put it, of human rights. This is an issue of society, of our own base as a culture, as a people, regardless of which community you come from. This is not acceptable. This is not agreeable. This is not about Uhuru Kenyatta saying yes or no. This is an issue that the people of Kenya themselves, who have bestowed upon themselves a constitution, right, after several years, have clearly stated that this is not a subject that they are willing to engage in, at this time and moment. In years to come, possibly long after I'm president, who knows? Maybe our society will have reached a stage where those are issues that people are willing, freely and open to discuss. I have to be honest with you. And that is the position that we have always maintained. Those are the laws that we have, and those are laws that are 100% supported by 99% of the Kenyan people, regardless of where they come from.
So I
it's a very
you're going to get yourself into trouble.
What do you mean you'll get in trouble? With who? With the US government? With the Western countries? He's the president. By that time, he was the president of Kenya. Are you kidding me?
You don't think that the idea of their privacy, their equality, their rights
Christian,
is important.
This is,
but it's a global issue right now.
It's important to them where they are.
Why is it not
I am
important
saying
to you
that it
as
is
president
not
of the country?
important to me as the leader of 49 million Kenyans. And after, if you want to ask me my personal opinion,
What is your personal opinion?
after I finish my process, I can talk about my personal opinion. But as the leader of the people of the Republic of Kenya, I represent that which our people are desirous to be. And I have no choice, but that is my position.
Would you publicly say that people who are LGBT, gay members of the Kenyan population should not be discriminated against, should not be violated, should not be abused?
No Kenyan should be abused, should be, mistreated in any particular. Every Kenyan is protected by law, every single Kenyan. But they also must recognize that their freedoms are also must be taken into the entire context of the society that they live in. Because this is not a question of governments accepting or not accepting. This is a question of society, right?
Currently, it's a legal process.
Yes. And that legal process is based on the society that you live in, and that's why laws are made. So I think that's all I have to say about that particular subject.
Listen, people sometimes, especially these mouthpieces, they sometimes tend to bring the globalness into everything. Each country with its own. Kenya, I don't know, Uganda, Tanzania, Sudan, wherever, all these other countries, each and every one of them has their own culture. And it pisses me off to see that all these Western countries, they try their best to make sure that the African people understands that if you don't do our way, then you will be punished. And I am so glad that we have people like
If you look at the Constitution of Kenya and the laws we have in this country, to be gay, to be a lesbian, to be transgender, or to be queer, which is what the Q stands for in LGBTQ. To the contrary,
why now?
We should read the provisions of Article 45 of the Constitution. First, it places the family at the very heart of the society. In fact, what it says is that the family is the fundamental unit of the society. At sub-article 2 of Article 45, it says only people of opposite gender can marry one another. And that is the law of Kenya. I'm aware this thing is in all government offices. This thing is even in parliament. This thing is even in the media. This thing is percolating all over. But I want to tell the people imagining we can withdraw, because I've been receiving threats telling me, Kaluma, withdraw from that enterprise. Tell them to study my history with matters concerning the family. Yeah. We brought down the slave queens the other day. Kaluma brought them.
And that's what they usually do. If you don't agree with our terms, then we will threaten you. Oh, I love my African people.
Marriage Act, which has consolidated all marriage laws. Up to the time we brought the Matrimonial Property Act, Kenya was relying on 1882 laws of England on matrimonial property. On family, there is no backpedaling. And don't call me to say I'll not go to your country. What do we lack in Kenya? You can cancel your visa. I was a short while back in a foreign country, and you can imagine being approached by a fellow man asking me to go out and mess with him, sleep with him. And the guy has the audacity to tell me I look nicely round. Can you imagine? What a level of perversion. So I'm telling our people that this is an enterprise which is going on. There is no reverse gear, and it is going to succeed. On the day this bill is going to be tabled, It is going to be Kenya versus Sodom and Gomorrah, the other side. Anybody who will rise to oppose will belong, and Kenyans will see them to Sodom and Gomorrah immediately. And as Kenyans will fight very hard, and I know we are more than the people of Sodom and Gomorrah sent in this parliament, I know we will succeed. So I appreciate what is happening.
Absolutely.
The bill has been drafted. We are now waiting for parliament to move forward. But as we do that, we want to encourage our institutions to know that they exist for Kenya, not for foreign powers. Do you find it any coincidental that that determination by a majority of the bench members in the Supreme Court was handed down when the First Lady of the United States of America was arriving in Kenya? It's not a coincidence. Is it coincidental that then you see her giving us some 16 billion for hunger? This hunger of ours, which makes people think our moralities can be bought.
Exactly.
Why don't we have measures to end it? And remember, imagine even if you are a child, the Supreme Court rightly says these things are criminal acts in Kenya. They're not just sins. But then the Supreme Court goes ahead and says that the association of these criminals still has to be registered. What are you talking about? What a contradiction. It's like telling convicts, murder convicts, you can register murderers association. What will stop terrorists from approaching the NGOs board to say we also want to be registered? What will stop rapists from saying we can now be registered? We are going back to that Supreme Court, and I'm encouraged by the position taken by the churches. Because people think you cannot appeal to the Supreme Court, but you can go back for a relook, review. And I take courage in the fact that only 3 judges of the Supreme Court decided so. 2 dissented and 2 were not there. We are going back to that Supreme Court with the religious organizations, the churches and everybody, and we are going to request the Supreme Court in their full bench of 7 in number to review that position. And if they don't, then I want to remind the Supreme Court and our court system to begin reading where they derive their power from. The people. They are exercising the delegated power of the people of Kenya, not some perverts or their external funders. We may not even end at disbanding that Supreme Court, but we can have a law, because the Constitution also says nobody, no authority, including the Supreme Court, has the power to make any provision with the force of law other than this parliament. So if we don't succeed in that Supreme Court, there will be a provision in the bill we are going to propose that will deregister, if they would have been registered, any organization encouraging or promoting this vice. That is our position. We want the education sector to work around it. We want the law enforcement to do their work. And we want everybody to be on the alert, more so for their children. For truly, these are the future of our society. But this is a battle we must succeed on, and it's a battle that anybody pushing it down our throats will never win. If it is what will make Kenya poor, I don't think Uganda is any poorer, having passed it. I've read the Constitution. People are saying, what right? What we are saying is that we will arrest you if you engage in these criminal acts in Kenya. And when we take you to court, we will give you your right to fair hearing.
That's the right.
So get your lawyer. We will give you your right to fair hearing. That is the right you have under the Constitution. If you mess up with your bodies, you hurt yourselves in those unnatural behavior, we will treat you subject to you are paying for it. We cannot treat you for free because you have a right to Medicare. But we need to protect our system so that the society really is sanctioned. I'm very happy with my church, the Catholic Church. And I'm very happy with the other religious organizations, including the Muslims, the Hindus. And I'm happy that the church is, voicing their moral position and their position as an institution in this church. I thank you very much.
I didn't mean to laugh, but listen, we Africans have humor, and I'm addicted to laughing. This it's something that I can't control sometimes. This man was so funny, especially when he mentioned Sodom and Gomorrah, because I remember he used to say, I don't know, that there used to be a song about Sodom and Gomorrah, and it's funny. It reminded me of, because Sodom and Gomorrah, that was Sodom and Gomorrah YouTube. Now this last video, he mentioned Museveni. Museveni started his criticism against the LGBT like way back, maybe 20 years ago, maybe even the day he was born. I have no idea, but he's been speaking loud and clear against the LGBTQ. Like 10 years ago, 9 years ago, he passed a law against the LGBTQ. And each and every time he keeps on passing new laws, making it way harder and harsher against the LGBT. So this is saved for the real MVP, the real Museveni, he doesn't care about the Western countries. And I know they've been trying to get rid of him for so many years, and he doesn't budge. So let's watch the real MVP. I'm sorry for my gay people, but listen, every country have their own culture, and you have to respect uh, those people with their principles and culture and everything, just like the way you want people to respect you with your agendas and everything. So this is Africa.
This issue of homosexuality is a very serious issue because it is an issue of the human race. So it's not something that you should discuss to be seen, to be what? No. You only talk because you are sure of what you are saying. Otherwise, keep quiet. Don't add to the confusion. There is enough confusion already. Now, when we are discussing the issue of homosexuality, in the last 200 years, in this part of the world,
Africa,
Ankole, Kigezi, Buganda,
Kenya,
Karagwe, Tanzania. So, but it was a smaller number. I have had 5 names in the last 200 years. Because me, I'm from this area here. My clan is one of the oldest in this part of the world. Now, when this issue, at that time, of course, this was a private issue. People were not fighting, they were not encouraging it, but also they were not fighting it because it was like hidden, small secret of some few people. The problem with the Europeans is that they bring things which are out of place.
and the Americans.
So when it came up, 2014, now this time, I started trying to study this issue. What is it? Is homosexuality genetic? Is it in some people, some inherited? Is it hormonal? That somebody gets imbalance of hormones? Because there are some people who get those problems of hormones. The conclusion was no, this is a psychological disorientation by some people at some stage. It's not genetic, it's not hormonal, it is a psychological disorientation where somebody, because of some experience, hates the people he should love and love the people he should not love. It's a type of like a sickness. So if that is the case, that suspicion of merely being suspected to be cannot be criminalized, cannot and should not be criminalized, because he is like a sick person. If somebody is sick, do you criminalize him for that? Now, I'm glad when they went back, apparently they cured this. This was what was cured. The problem is that, yes, you are disoriented. You have got a problem to yourself. Now, don't try to recruit others now. If you try to recruit people into a disorientation, then we go for you. We punish you. That's number one. But secondly, if you violently grab some children and you rape them and so on, we kill you. And that one I totally support, and I will support. The three positions. Number one, merely being suspected of being is not an offense in itself. You are a person to be helped if you want helped, because it was said that some of the people can be helped to get back to normal. But secondly, if you want now to disorient others, we go for you, we punish you by imprisonment. If you go beyond that and you start raping children and so on, we kill you.
Yes, sir.
So there, we are. But later on, a woman from the World Bank rang me, and I told her exactly as I'm telling you. I said, I'm going to sign the bill because of the 3 points I've told you. Merely being, no, we cannot criminalize you. Being and trying to recruit, we punish you by imprisonment. Raping, we kill you. So, but then the woman of the World Bank told me two other points, which we although I've signed the bill, I would like us to look at it also ourselves, because I don't want to be on the side of wrong. In all these fights, I have never stood on the wrong side. Never. That is the line of the NRM. We never have two languages. What we tell you in the day is what we shall tell you in the night. So therefore, the woman of the world, so therefore the signing is finished, nobody will move us. But the woman from the World Bank told me two issues, for which I was going to return the bill again. Issue number one is requiring employers to make sure that there are no homosexuals in their company. Something like that. Something like you must ensure that the employers what. But how if that is there, I didn't read the whole bill, but if that is there, then we shall have to look at it, because it's really you are wasting people's time to know how many people in the company are. That's what the woman of the World Bank told me. That's number one. If it is there, we shall have to sort it out. Now the second one, where I think we would be on the wrong ground, is to blame real estate owners for houses being rented by homosexuals.
We edited that. That's what
If that is there, then we should sort it out. We don't have time to go into that now, but we shall have time for that. So these are the two areas which you should check again. So I was about to return the bill again, but then the end of last week, I was going through my papers, and I saw the letter from the Attorney General telling me that the issues I had raised with the whips had all been resolved, that I should now sign the bill, and I signed it. So, if you don't have the other weaknesses there, forget about all this nonsense. What I don't want is a SOV on our side. We don't want any SOV, any mistake, because you cannot say, I am an employer, I have got so many employers at Kixozi, how do I know who is a homosexual? And if I own a house, if I'm renting houses, how can I go to check the tenants who is homosexual and who is not homosexual? So please, otherwise, if we are sure that, because these are the only two weaknesses that I had, if they are there. But otherwise, we shall move. If they cut aid, we shall sit down and discipline our expenditure, rearrange our budgets. If they interfere with our trade, we shall trade with others.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that one is not my, and that's what I was telling you. The other time when I met you at Kololo, I said, you people, you should be ready for a war. And you cannot fight a war when you are a pleasure seeker, if you like a soft life. So war is not for soft life.
Even now I have not really fully understood it, that you can fail to be attracted to all these beautiful women here and elsewhere, and you are attracted by a man. That's a very serious matter. It means there's something really wrong with you. So for me, in my simple way, I thought they must be born like that. What is attracting you in a man? A man to a man?
I went munching. He said he studied the homosexuality. He went beyond to study homosexuality so that he can come up with a decision if to legalize it or criminalize it. Do you know how far that man went to study homosexuality so that they can ban it completely? Oh my goodness. So all these other African countries saw what President Museveni did, how he stood up against the giants and told them, I don't give an F. We don't need your money. I know these people have been trying for so many years to get rid of Museveni. But remember, guys, he's an African. Okay, the African people knows how to protect themselves. Sometimes I go through so much here and I'm like, I know I trust God, but believe me, if I was in Africa, I would do something to help out. I would have. Like all these people attacking me all the time, stealing things from my car and all this, I would go to the Vuvu Juju just to make sure they pay, because God is always merciful to people. God does not punish anyone. God sees how our children are being tortured all around the world, and is still being merciful to these people. It's sometimes hard. But anyway, I wanted to share that side of African people. I know most of my subscribers are from United States, and you have no idea how African people talk, behave, even though I am an African here and you've seen me talk. But the leaders, how they've started to wake up and to stand against the United States. And I think this happens. I think they decided to do this because they saw that the United States president, the one that you do have now, is as weak as we can't curse, but he's so weak. Yeah, they don't like him. They do not like him, and they do not like Kamala at all. Anyway, guys, let me just show you this last video. I think I should have done like a stream today because all these videos are just so amazing. So this last video is from South African Parliament, and I laughed because I know if this happened in United States, the whole country will be on fire because they will be protesting racism and all that, whatever they want to call it. But in Africa, no. In Africa, now this last video is funny. Okay, I saw it on TikTok and I'm going to search for this video. And so here we are. Let's laugh together. It's Friday.
There's a point of order. Honorable Leader of the Opposition, can you take your seat? Honorable
Madam Speaker, when the Leader of the Opposition took his place at the podium, the Teletubby over there shouted, "Sell out." I would ask you to please rule that that is unparliamentary and ask him to withdraw that.
Honorable members.
On the point of order, Chip.
No, honorable member.
Point of order.
Honorable member.
This white boy. This white boy mustn't come and
Honorable
undermine
member,
black
I
people
am
here.
dealing
That
with.
white boy mustn't come and undermine black people here.
Let me show you somebody who laughed. And she's white. Look right here. I can't. Ah, God.
That white boy mustn't come and undermine black people here.
Honorable member, whoever in those benches called the Leader of the Opposition a sellout, can you please withdraw that? Who said that? Honorable members of the EFF, who said that? I will have to deal with this matter outside of this sitting. Can the Leader of the Opposition please take the podium and proceed?
On a point of order, Speaker.
Honorable member.
On a point of order.
What's the point of order?
This man stood today here and called one member here a Teletubby. This man must be asked to withdraw. You must withdraw. You hurt him.
Honorable member.
No.
Honorable member.
You must withdraw. You hurt him.
Honorable member.
Honorable Speaker, you can deal outside of this house. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member.
I'm listening.
Honorable member, just take your seat. And can the Leader of the Opposition proceed?
But Honorable Speaker,
Honorable member, what's the problem?
the Honorable member stood up here.
No, don't tell me what happened because I saw it and I heard it and I've asked the Honorable member to take the seat.
Withdraw that.
No, I'm not going to do it. Please take your seat.
In terms of Rule 64,
can you please take your seat, Honorable member?
Can you request the Honorable member to withdraw that?
Take your
seat.
seat.
Honorable Speaker, can you please help us, assist us? Tell the Honorable member that to withdraw.
Honorable member, I am not going to be led by you what to do. Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
May I address you,
Honorable members, I know you discuss.
It is like little kids arguing. Why is it so this is so funny. Why is it so funny? Like, why do they have to withdraw? He said Teletubbies, you said a sellout. What is that?
That you must disrupt the house.
No,
I know that. Whoever told you that lied to you. Of course you didn't tell me, but I know it.
It's clear.
But I am saying take your seat.
If ever you are saying we must call each other Teletubbies, we'll do that. There's
Honorable
no
member.
If ever each other or each one of us can call each other Teletubbies, then we'll do that. If it's allowed, we'll do that.
Honorable member,
Please rule on that.
please take your seat.
Honorable Speaker, may I address you? May I address you, Honorable Speaker?
Address me on
It
what,
must be
honorable
noted
member?
that when things are said by the EFF, we are asked to withdraw or the bouncers are coming. But because you are in bed with the DA, you can't call the DA to order. It's in public now, it's known that you are in bed with the DA.
Honorable member, take your seat. Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
If you guys want to see more of African videos or debates or Teletubbies or white boys, please let me know, because yeah, I love that video. And to all my gay supporters, I did not mean to offend you. I just want you to know that in each and every country, there's a culture and there's a government, then there are the people there. There are some cultures that were brought by the white people to the African countries, especially the rainbow ones, okay? Back in the days, the LGB fought for their rights to be recognized, and then they added the Q, and they kept on adding more and more, and they kept getting acceptance. Until now, they're demanding, they're infiltrating, they are indoctrinating, they are doing all the horrible things that we never thought would be acceptable. But it is acceptable. They do this in schools. They do this everywhere. So you see why we have issues? The African people see whatever is going on. Today, thank goodness for the internet. We don't need to rely on the lying mouthpieces anymore. We do our own researches. We see what's going on. And everything that happens spreads like wildfire. Whatever is going on in the United States, believe me, the whole world is watching. And I'm so grateful for the African leaders for standing against these people. It doesn't mean that they don't like, anyway, Museveni is a little bit harsh. He was very harsh when he said, but I don't think if he's harsh, whoever is hurting children should be dealt with or be thrown into prison forever. I don't understand why they usually get second chances or behavior or whatever because they were good leaders in prison or blah, blah, blah. Why do they usually do that? Anybody who hurts children should never be allowed to be out here in our society. That's just how I see it. But the Americans and their judicial system and their wokeness and ideology, they try to force all these things that they do, and they force and they make it as laws in their country. They try to shove all this into other countries by bribing them, by telling them, if you don't do this, we don't give you no money. Like what? I'm so proud of my African people. Anyway, guys, what do you think about my African leaders? Are they on their right mind? Are they okay? Do you think what they're doing is the right thing to do? Do you think that letting the rainbow people to be part of African culture is considered to be, what did she say? Human rights? Do you know how many people suffer around the world and there's no human rights in sight to help unless you belong to the rainbow people? So thank you guys so much for watching. Please do like, comment, share, and click the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a video. See you in my next upload. Bye.